Okay, so I have played Tetris for the NES before. I played a lot of Tetris. This is one of the few cartridges my family owned when I was a kid. This was actually my mom's game that I played quite a bit. I like Tetris a lot. I've played lots of different versions of Tetris. I think the most recent one I played a lot of was the Tetris 99, the Battle Royale one, which I thought was really good. So it's going to be a little weird going back to not having all of the quality of life improvements with the NES Tetris. But let's check it out here. I wanted to put it on music too later. I think that's my favorite track of these, but this is kind of your classic Tetris track. So, stuff that's in modern Tetris that's not in this one. We don't have ghosts at the bottom to tell us where our piece is going to land, which is fine. I can operate without that. We don't have infinite spin, which I guess not every modern Tetris game has infinite spin. I played a ton of, was it Tetris DS? Where eventually, you know, the pieces are dropping in 0 frames, so you need infinite spin to not die immediately. But I think modern games have some kind of limited spin, where you can keep spinning the pieces for a certain amount of time, and eventually they get locked in if you do it for too long. It's not truly infinite. I think the thing that's going to cause me the most problems, honestly, I forget what this mechanic is called, maybe somebody in chat knows, but they've changed the way that pieces are selected for you, right? And this is where I'm going to get in trouble now. In modern Tetris, there's like a bag of pieces gets generated, and I think they'll call it a bag informally, and that bag must contain, I want to say, let's see, there's what, 7 tetrominoes, right? So it must contain all 7 of the tetrominoes twice in any order for each set of 14 pieces that are generated, if that makes sense. So the whole idea is to keep you from getting like unlucky runs of like S pieces or Z pieces that could kill you otherwise. Like you could still get 2 I pieces in a row, but I think in modern Tetris it's not possible to get 3 I pieces in a row. And I think you can definitely get 3 I pieces in a row in NES Tetris. Or you could go really dry on I pieces. Which is bad for me because I very much play for Tetrises and only Tetrises, which I know is not a great strategy even in the modern version of the game. But that's much harder to do when you don't have the modern like piece bag system that they've developed. I don't know, I think it's more interesting this way. It's significantly harder to not have the piece bag, to not have any idea what you're gonna get, right? Tetris is interesting because I think this game, it is inevitable that you will fail eventually, right? Like, it is impossible to play Tetris forever, no matter how good you are. You will eventually get a sequence of S and Z pieces that forces you to fail. If you were to play for infinite time. You could probably play for a really, really, really long time before that actually becomes a realistic problem. Oh, I've really screwed myself here. Let's just abandon. Okay. Oh boy. Music's gonna get mad at me soon. I know it's coming soon. I remember that about this game. The scary you're in trouble music. Yeah, I love Tetris. It's an excellent game. Alexei Pajitnov should be very proud. I think he eventually got his bag for this. I know when he first put it out, he didn't make very much money from it. He's also been involved in a whole bunch of other games. There's this really weird, like, Microsoft game that they hired Alexei Pajitnov to develop. I want to say in the late 90s or the early 2000s. I forget the name. It's like Pandora's Box or something like that. But it's really different from Tetris. And it's kind of interesting. Might be a fun one to do on stream at some point. I don't know at what speed I'm gonna start to get annihilated, but it's gonna happen. Just prepare for it now. Ooh boy. I feel like Tetris lives and dies on the S and Z pieces. Like, the whole game is interesting because of those. It would be too easy to just constantly, safely build for Tetrises constantly if you didn't have to deal with them. Yeah. Might be okay for now, we'll see. Oh, not now. Alright, well, let's just eat it. It hurts, but... Is this the right? No. It takes me a second whenever the palette changes to get a feel for the L and R pieces. Yeah. It's not the right one. That's the right one. Okay. Ugh. Keep getting these awful S and Z pieces. My mom was really into this and Dr. Mario when I was a kid. I still can't play Dr. Mario. Like, I mean, I can play it, but my brain chemistry doesn't let me play it against another player, you know? Like, I can play it to just clear lines and win eventually, but I can't think ahead for whatever reason in order to cause cascade change to occur. So, like, Andrea is really good at Dr. Mario, and she would absolutely annihilate me. I can do okay at competitive Tetris, because, you know, I focus so much on Tetrises that ends up adding so much garbage that it can be hard for opponents to deal with. Do okay in Tetris 99 with that strategy. Yeah. Actually not super clear on the history of the various releases of Tetris. I know this ended up being on, like, virtually every platform. I know the NES version was a pretty important release. I've seen the video of the originally coded one that he did. Oh boy. See, this is where the piece bag is gonna cause me problems now, right? It could be a really long time until I see eyepieces again. There's one. Oh, I think I'm a dead man walking. I'm gonna try to recover here, but I think I've already seen my death. Oh no! That was infinite spin not being there. Okay. Alright. I got lucky on pieces. The Game Boy Tetris. I think the most I've played is probably Tetris DS. Tetris DS blew my mind with infinite spin, because you can, with infinite spin, you can play for a really long time, even once the pieces are dropping. Oh man, yeah, now I'm having like rotation issues where it's just locking in and I'm not even done rotating. This has like the whatever the opposite of infinite spin is. It's extremely finite spin. Yeah, like right there. That was me. I was desperately trying to spin. I think you should be able to spin at least once or twice when it touches the bottom of a block. I think that that's probably a correct change to the formula, even though I can see why people would not like infinite spin. Yay! Never played Tetris Blast. Alright, let me get on that tradition. We have to be ass here. I gotta get that music too now, please. Can I go back here? Hell yeah. Oh, too far back. I think I'm gonna die to having too much muscle memory from not infinite spin, but just being able to spin a little bit at the bottom. Like, that's going to annihilate me. I don't even think I know how to play it without doing most of my spinning when the piece is almost at the bottom. So I'm going to try to mentally think about that more, but it's going to be hard for me to overcome. Need to be fast at mashing the buttons to get all the moves and spins before a piece hits the bottom. Yeah, okay, so it sounds like the Game Boy version has the same rules as this one. I think that I'm trying to like picture this from like a super Tetris purist perspective. I think that most purists would probably agree that the bag system of generating pieces is correct and good for the game. Like I don't suspect that's controversial. I could see the ghost piece at the bottom being controversial, or at least being thought of as like an accessibility aid that's not necessary for like pro players. I could see infinite spin being very contentious. I'm not sure what folks would say about limited spin, like very limited spin. I think that in the NES version, if the piece, like, let me demonstrate here. I think once the piece gets here, it's now impossible to spin. But I think having at least like one frame or one spin allowed before it locks in is probably good for the game. I think you ideally want it to be at least somewhat playable once the drop speed is so fast that it's happening in a single frame, right? Beautiful. Now that's a much more reliable thing to happen in the modern version of the game because of the bag piece generation means it's somewhat likely that you'll see, if not back-to-back eyepieces, you'll see them relatively close to each other. I think the longest you have to wait is 7 pieces if you were the most unlucky you could possibly be. Errand. I should just be going for line clears. Oh, I guess I never really got good at T-spinning, but I think T-spinning is a modern Tetris thing, right? I don't think that's possible in NES Tetris. Game Boy, you can keep spinning precisely until a piece would descend into an occupied space. Never in such a way that spin would be required for the piece to move to find a spot. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's T-spinning would fall under that category, right? That you can spin a piece into position that otherwise would be impossible to fit. Oh, really? Okay, I misread what you were saying. You had to be really fast. I play for Tetrises so hard in this game. I think it's my weakness. Like, the problem is that it's a relatively effective strategy in most versions of the game, and it works for a reasonably long time. It's just when you start to get to really high-level play that focusing so heavily on Tetrises starts to really punish you. I think I'm gonna die to piece generation here. This is already not great. Oh, I wish that was the other one. Oh, this is not good. Okay, so I can fit a little T guy in there. It's gonna be very greedy here. It's fine. I see. And it begins. Let's see what level I made it to last time. definitely okay. I think with this version of the game, I really need to, like, try to force myself to not have two eyepiece lanes running at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I do right now, and it's really bad. I can have one, but as soon as I get to two, I need to start just, like, clearing lines to avoid having this nightmare. This is manageable if I can be a little bit more certain that I'm gonna get the pieces I need. Yeah, because I could go really dry on eyepieces here. I'm already dead, aren't I? Okay. Evaded death, but I'm also in big trouble over here on the left side. Okay. Oh, spin was getting me there. It's too bad. I got the pieces I needed, but a little bit too late. Now I'm getting the embarrassment of eyepiece riches. Now that it's too late. Ah! That's right. Yeah, you can see two pieces in a row, but you will never see more than two pieces in a row. That's right. If you see two in a row, the next time you'll see that piece is 7 more pieces, I think, right? I got better score that time? I guess I did better earlier even though I didn't get as far. Oh, actually no, I want, hold on, I'm gonna suicide. I want to change music. I have to try B-type at some point too, which I forget what that is. I think so. Let me think about it. So you generate a bag that contains one of each of the 7 pieces, right? So the 7th piece could be the eyepiece. And then you generate another bag that contains one of each of the 7 pieces. The first of which could be the eyepiece. Yeah, I think you're right. Because then you could not see the next eyepiece until the 7th piece in the next bag. Yeah, you're right. I think so. I completely forgot this music. I remember liking 1 and 2. Oh, also Hard Drop. That's another one I forgot about. Hard Drop is really satisfying. I'm guessing that there aren't any Tetris purists who would have a problem with Hard Drop. I guess Hard Drop is improved by the ghost, but probably still not necessary. I would probably hold that Tetris 99 is the best Battle Royale game. Or at least it's the only Battle Royale game that I've played that evades the problem of having a long setup period that just, like, ends abruptly with the exciting part of the game where everything is just over suddenly after you spent 10-15 minutes not actually playing the game. You're playing Tetris the whole time in Tetris 99. Oh, this isn't good. This is bad. I'm running 2 eyepiece lanes again. I can't stop myself. I physically can't stop myself. Let me just try to clean shit up here if I... Oh, God. Don't give me that piece. Fuck. Says he wants to clean stuff up. Game Boy had hard drop and no ghost. Oh yeah, that's gotta be brutal. I said that I could imagine purists being anti-ghost, but I imagine if purists really want hard drop, they probably want ghost, and I wouldn't be weird about it. This makes me want to play that weird Pageantnov game. I think it's called, Pandora's Box. Can somebody, like, fact-check me on that? Am I just making that up? Is it a dream I had? Is there a game? Did he make a game called Pandora's Box that Microsoft, like, subsidized? It's really weird. It's very different. The right one. Bad timing on the eyepiece. It's okay. I only have one eyepiece lane. Trying to learn. Trying to be better. Oh god. Yeah, there's also, like, I don't know how to describe it, your ability to rotate pieces is constrained by how close you are to the edges of the screen, in a way that isn't the case in modern versions of Tetris. Like, you can be physically blocked from rotating the piece if it's against either of the walls or the ceiling. Fool. Watch my own foolishness play out over and over. I see myself make the mistake and I make it over and over again. It's wild. That was probably a misplay, actually. So now I'm forced to sit out for another eyepiece. This is where I died last time, or when I got the furthest that I got. See if I can get to the next level before I die here. That was scary. I almost got supremely hosed on rotation there. Okay. I think we're out of the immediate danger zone. I'm just going to abandon Tetrises now. I do not have the skill. Just going to try to, like, clear as much junk as I can. Not fuck that up. I just did. I've got 2 eyepiece lanes again, son of a bitch. Okay, I think I cleaned that up. Okay, now we're getting pretty fast here. They didn't want me to exclusively go for Tetrises. They shouldn't have made it so satisfying every time you get a Tetris. Okay, this is the right LR piece. Okay. I don't have the best, I don't know, is it rotational vision? I like need to see the piece in its color to know how the L and R pieces and the Z and S pieces will rotate. I can't just like eyeball it from the piece preview on the left there. I wish I was better about that. Oh god, that's probably fine. Okay. I need better vision for that too, where I can like safely drop a Z or an S piece. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, that's not good. In a way that doesn't leave inaccessible junk, right? Yeah, now I'm getting rotation problems. No! Okay, I have to be ready before the piece touches the ground. I gotta override years and years and years and years of muscle memory. No! Things are going so well, and now they're going so not well. Uh-oh. Oh no! The feeling of the piece, like, sticking to another piece it's awful. Pandora's Box, 1999. Okay. Hexic. I feel like I remember playing Hexic. Sounds familiar. Alright, so to music 2. Let's try B-type? What the hell is B-type? I don't remember. I guess I'm about to find out. Is B-type the same if I don't specify an initial height? I think I used to know this. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm also just playing poorly, but... Whatever, it's fine. Salvageable. I think Tetris is a really good example of, I think all game design is discovered rather than invented, right? That, like, potential games sort of exist in nature, and there are, the process of discovering a game is finding one that is actually fun to play, and which holds up and has design space to build on. So I think, like, it's literally true with Sudoku puzzles, right? It's part of why I really like that Cracking the Cryptic channel. It's all of those pieces, all of those puzzles have to exist in nature before a constructor can set out to, you know, put the clues in such a way that a person can solve it. But it's really cool that Pajitnov landed on this so early. And it's, like, practically a perfect game. There's a little bit of like tweaking you can do to the core mechanics, but this still works fine, even without all of the modern quality of life niceties. B is gold ace. Oh, I see at the top there. So do you get more points if you get the line clears in primarily with Tetrises as opposed to normal clearing? This is folly. This is folly. Let's just put it there. So theoretically, this would end it? Success. Yeah, that makes sense. Need a different animation here. There's not enough time to line it up and then fix the rotation or vice versa, yeah. So you have to already know what the piece is, how many times you're going to have to rotate it, and have it lined up before it's even on the board, right? Or your brain has to have that cued. If you're trying to make decisions once the piece is available and it's that fast, you've already lost. See what you're saying? Alright, let's stick on A-type. I'll go back to music 1 for around here. Probably should do a couple rounds where I start on level 9. Just for fun to get annihilated. I feel like I could play Tetris DS almost forever. Like, I could just stay on a map until I got tired and wanted to stop. But I think it's probably the most permissive Tetris game that exists because of it having true infinite spin. It's like they delve too greedily and too deep, and I realize that that's probably not healthy for the game. I think with infinite spin you would still eventually mathematically be forced to lose due to a bad string of S and Z pieces, even with the bag mechanic, because although you could infinite spin, you were restricted in your ability to climb over other pieces, if that makes sense. Like, once the pieces start dropping in 0 frames, you could climb over, I think, 1 block's height with infinite spin, but if it was 2 blocks high, you couldn't get over it. So if you laid things out poorly, the pieces would drop in a way that it was impossible for you to get them where you needed them to go. I do think that... Oh, I don't know, what the fuck am I doing? That was stupid. I do think that it's almost a different game once the pieces are dropping in 0 frames, and you just have to spin to figure out where you're putting them. I don't think this version ever gets that fast. The Game Boy version might. I wasn't sure if level 9 was the fastest in this one. That was dummy play. It's interesting that the piece preview has been around for so long. I doubt that was in his original prototype in the early 80s or whatever. But it's probably like the one quality of life feature in the NES version. Yeah, I remember being surprised by that song when I first heard it. I'm like, why does everyone say that's the Tetris song? I think it's because the Game Boy version was, like, the one that took the world by storm, right? Have there been any, like, particularly amazing rules variants of Tetris? Not like Tetris 99, where everyone's still playing Tetris, there's just rules for junk that are kind of weird and arcane. Like, we've never gotten, like a pentomino Tetris that was any good, right? Like, feel like we have a million variants of match 3 puzzle games that can be interesting for different reasons, but it seems like I haven't really encountered anything other than pure Tetris that really has the magic of Tetris. It had a completely ridiculous install base. Yeah. I actually didn't have an original Game Boy when I was a kid. I didn't get a Game Boy until the Game Boy Color. So I got Pokemon Blue with the Game Boy Color. So a lot of Game Boy games are like an empty space in my gamer profile. I haven't had well, I didn't have an Atari, but we had an uncle who had an Atari, so I played most of the main Atari games at his house when I was a kid. I guess I never played any, like, Commodore 64 games either. Didn't have one, didn't know anyone who had one. Foolishness continues. Yeah, the regular Game Boy. Wait, Tetris came with the original Game Boy? Really? Huh. You remember games coming with systems, but... Those were good times. I remember being mad the first time a system came out that didn't come with 2 controllers. It's pretty early. Come with a controller, doesn't come with any games. It's pretty fucked up that the PS1 didn't come with a memory card. I was one of the kids who suffered for that. Trying to get as far as I could in Final Fantasy VII while leaving the system turned on. Praying I didn't game over. Oh, yeah. Now I'm in piece rotation hell. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. 60% for Tetris, 40% for everything else we own combined. Yeah, Atari was kind of a janky system. Let's try getting annihilated in level 9 really quick. I wasn't even able to push it far enough in. That's really funny. Committing the same sins. I just watch myself do it every single time. At least know it's a sin. Motherfucker, I couldn't rotate it fast enough. There's a lot of genres of game where I'll do the same wrong thing over and over, but I won't know what I'm doing is wrong. Here, at least my brain registers. That was dumb. But why do you keep doing it then? I want Tetris's. Okay, I think... Ah, son of a bitch. I think L and R pieces, under modern spin rules, I, like, do like a safety spin at the very end to get them into place when I need them to stand up. I can't do that with the pieces falling this fast and without any kind of grace on the spins at the bottom, and it's getting me fucking wrecked over here. It's really bad. God. Oh God. Yeah. That square piece, the O piece, I couldn't have moved it all the way to the right. I think it was impossible. I don't think anything ever came with memory cards. We didn't need memory cards prior to the PS1 because you just had storage on the cartridges, right? So, you know, the PS1 comes out and it's the first time that the save game isn't associated with the console itself or with the game. So if you weren't expecting that to be the case and your parents got you for it for Christmas and they didn't have any idea, saving was going to be important. You're just hosed. There's just not enough frames of the piece falling for you to possibly rotate it in time. Yeah, so like the death zone isn't the line at the top. Interesting. So it's even more important to just keep lines cleared at the bottom, I guess. Yeah, man, I've never noticed this problem about myself, but I think when I play Tetris on a modern version of it, if I need to rotate the L and R pieces so that like the long part is pointed up, I like infinite spin it at the very last second to get it the way I want it. Yeah, I just did it again. It's hard to like make myself think about it now. I don't get it rotated early enough. It's interesting. It's like the Tetris equivalent of if you've ever driven stick shift, like wiggling the shifter to confirm that you're in neutral. I think I do that with the L and R pieces. It's really crazy. Oh my god, I'm dead. Right, yeah, you don't have enough frames to rotate. I'll stay on 9 for a bit and see how far I can take it. I 100% do the Tetris equivalent of wiggling the shifter. That's really, really funny. I've never noticed it before. I wonder if it causes me problems. It probably causes me to be like, I don't know, a frame late. If I'm playing like Tetris 99 or something, I bet I fall behind the other players by like a frame for every L and R piece that spawns. Because I'm like wasting time rotating it at the last second to get it into position. Oh my god. Hey Wintera, how you doing? Alright, I'll do one more 9, then we'll go back to 0 for the remaining time. Yeah, that's not good. I'm trying to, like, stop myself from wiggling the stick shift. Oh god. Oh dear. You fool. You absolute idiot fool. I did it again! Dude, it's like, it's completely subconscious. I wonder how much of my Tetris playing is completely subconscious at this point. Or it's like I'm just like queuing the pieces as I see them and not even really making decisions anymore. I think I'm dead. I think there is no escape. Yeah, because now I can't rotate it fast enough. Okay. Yeah, right. Alright, back to 0. Oh, sure, if you have any Tetris tips. I'm not sure if I can implement Tetris tips in 15 minutes, though. I have got so much muscle memory working against me here. 30 years of bad habits, literally. I have won Tetris 99 a couple times, so whatever I'm doing, I can get lucky and it can work out for me eventually, but... I think I do it with T-pieces too. That's so crazy. Just did it there. Which direction is this one? I think I actually want to drop the block there, yeah. That was an actual active decision as opposed to something that I was doing completely off instinct. Okay, I think we're gonna get out of here. I think we're okay. Feel a little bit better about myself. Thank you, Mr. Eyepiece. Nice to see you. So does anyone know, or can anyone look up how piece generation actually works in this game? Is it just pure random? If it's not using the modern bag approach? I don't like this. Just pure random? Okay. So, like, theoretically, you could get, like, 6 eyepieces in a row. There's nothing stopping that from happening. It's very mathematically unlikely. Just rolls 1 in 7 every time. Interesting. Is there any, like, has anyone figured out, like, how the RNG works? Can you manipulate it in some way? That would be kind of funny for like a speedrunner or something. Oh, there's a reduced chance for 2 in a row. Oh, you'd still need to play on level 9 for that number of lines to get to level 10, I guess? Even if you started on 9? That's interesting. I only ever started on 9 when I was a kid, just to be cheeky. I never actually like, made a serious attempt to make progress on it. It was always more fun to build stress here after doing a good job for a while and then getting fucked up at the very end. Is there a level where the pieces drop in a single frame or faster? Pretty sure the Game Boy has that, right? That's so weird. Why do I do that? It's like I don't trust those pieces. I guess it makes a kind of sense, because those are the only pieces that have 3 possible rotation states or more. The L, the R, and the T pieces. I guess that's another flaw in my style that's from years and years and years of playing it wrong, is I only ever rotate the pieces in one direction, and I don't think I have any kind of like brain sense for what pressing the other button would do if I wanted to rotate it the other way. This is probably a bad idea. I'm sure the very good Tetris players know exactly which way they're rotating and will pick the one that is right every time. Should have gone for the Tetris there. It's okay. It's still reasonably... Oh, I did it again. Did it twice in a row. It's alright, we're clearing lines. Yeah, imagine you lose a lot of time from only ever rotating in one direction. I assume it's less punishing in the later versions of the game where you have more time to spin when the piece is towards the bottom or not against the wall, but... absolutely gets you killed in this one, I think. Oh, shit. That was where I was constrained in my ability to rotate the T-piece because I was against the wall there. I am being very stupid right now. To not open up two fronts here. Okay, that's fine. Trying to stop doing the stick shift wiggling thing. It's really hard. I really have to like focus on it to not do it. I'm going to be very much more deliberate with my rotations here. I think it's engendered bad habits, the quality of life features of the modern games. Maybe I should play the NES version more. I bet that the stuff that the NES version will force me to do would make me better at Tetris in general. That I could then go back to the versions that have more of the quality of life features and play better. Level 10. Yeah, that was me panicking, not knowing which way it was. I knew what I wanted to do there, but I couldn't get the piece. Did it again. I'm wiggling the stick shift. I have to like look at the piece and try to imagine in my mind before it starts coming down how many times I have to press the A button to get it where I want it to be. And not try to look at the piece physically, right? I need to be like completely cueing it in my mind. Oh man, I'm dead. There's no way. I can't even get over there now, yeah. I got a high score though. I do always look at the next piece, but I don't think about rotating the next piece because I'm used to modern Tetris where I have as much time as I need to rotate the piece when it's at the bottom. Yeah, I would expect that with I think the more quality of life features you have with RTS games, the easier it is to learn those games. I think I'm actively learning bad habits from playing Tetris 99 and Tetris DS and what have you. I guess I can't really practice T-spinning in this one, right? I don't think. hold the button? Does that like pre-rotate it when it first comes out? I just tried doing it and didn't see anything happen. I think there's still bad habits though, because like I was saying, if you're playing something like Tetris 99, if I am, for every piece that has more than 1 degree of freedom, if I'm like not precisely deciding where I want to drop it and at what rotation I want it to be, if I'm instead waiting for it to get to the bottom and then rotating it to what it needs to be, I'm wasting like a couple frames on every piece drop that some player who's playing better than me is getting ahead of me on over time, right? So I think in general it would make me a better player if I practice this a little bit more. Like, I think being more precise about what you're inputting is probably good. Oh yeah, no, I'm already holding. Do you mean like holding left or right to have it already moving by the time it comes out? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That one I do without thinking about. This is fucking terrible. Like, I should just call it right now. I don't know why I've got myself into this situation. Because I'm a fool. I think I can recover, actually. I got lucky on some of my pieces there. Running fucking 3 eyepiece lanes at the same time. Deserve to die. Really? Let me try it here. I'm just gonna practice it. So, drop. Oh, wow. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. So you're saying, like, actively holding the button gets you further... Is there a limit to... There's gotta be, like, a hard limit on how far you can move the piece left or right once it starts getting to a certain speed, right? Like Taranin was saying that there's a speed at which the death line is effectively moves down from the top. There's a point where you can no longer, you don't have enough room to rotate the piece or move the piece to where you need it to go, even if you're holding it. But are you saying you can actually like tap the button really fast to get it to go further, regardless of how fast it's dropping? Really? How is that working under the hood? Like, are you just trying, like... How do I phrase this question? How many times per frame is the game listening for inputs, I guess, maybe is the question. On Game Boy, at least, a task could move a piece as often as every other frame. Yeah, exactly. I haven't come back to older Tetris. I've always played a modern version of it, like whatever the most modern version is, so it's... I don't think I even realized that I was doing that stick shifts wiggling thing. It's only possible in the modern versions of the game. I'm actively trying to stop it now. I think it's helping. Try doing this fast tapping thing. I didn't realize it was listening to inputs that frequently. I guess it makes sense. Nice. That's a good question. I'm probably gonna qualify. I'm just gonna list this as a free play game because I don't think it's really beatable, right? I guess I got to level 10 without really thinking about it. Sometimes we can come up with a creative beat condition for games, but I think for Tetris, it's free play. It's fine. There you go. All right, we're at time, but I'm gonna try to. I don't think I'm gonna do better than my PB here. So since we're at time, I'll just suicide. That is cool, the different ending animations for the different score thresholds. Yeah, that could be neat if Jordan wants to keep this on subblock. This is fun. I enjoyed just playing regular NES Tetris. Next up for subblock is the Zelda fan game, Link and Zelda Panoply of Calatia. Give me some time to set it up. It's a little bit complicated to get ready.